This morning, a 70-year-old man is in custody accused in an hours-long standoff and shootout at the Four Seasons in Midtown. The situation ended with that man being taken away on a stretcher to Grady. We just checked within the last hour and a half, and he still has not been booked in the Fulton County Jail. Some real scary moments for people living and working in the area and responding officers after that man opened fire multiple times. You can hear one of those shots fired. This all happened in the middle of the afternoon. 11 Alive's Liza Lucas joining us live this morning. Liza, walk us through how this all went down.
Well, initially, this all started with a mental health crisis call around 10 a.m. Tuesday morning. As you mentioned, this quickly evolved, though, over several hours of negotiations, ultimately more than a dozen shots fired, police say. And we saw this lockdown situation happening in a very busy area of Atlanta's Midtown. Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum telling 11 Alive that the suspect, Dr. Jay Berger, lived in a condo above the hotel. He'd apparently gotten into a dispute with a member of staff. Now, when police responded, we're told he refused to come to the door, and officers quickly learned he was armed with access to several weapons. Hours into negotiations, police say he began firing more than a dozen shots through walls, the door, and at least one round fired from the balcony. And then just after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Atlanta police say the suspect indicated he would surrender, with SWAT taking him into custody. Here's Chief Shearbaum indicating police were prepared to keep the public safe through multiple scenarios. Take a listen.
Occurrences are few and far between, but I want you to know your police department trains consistently for these occurrences. We hope we're never called to a first-story building or a 90-story building to end a threat, but we're ready. And we hope we never have to stand between the citizens of this city that may be armed with multiple weapons in a mental health emergency using them, but we're ready.
Again, the chief right there working to reassure the public as this all unfolded. And we know at this hour that Berger is facing aggravated assault charges, but police say that more charges could follow. He was taken to Grady with injuries, but in stable condition. And we also want to note that one APD officer was also injured over the course of this situation, but we were told that those injuries are not life-threatening. Live in Midtown, Liza Lucas, 11 Alive News.
Liza, thank you again. This all played out in the middle of the day. We talked with one woman as the standoff was going on who saw the suspect from her window.
And then I went out on my balcony, I see him, and he's wearing a gas mask and holding the flags. Well, first around 1:30, I think we started hearing it. And then about 20 minutes later, we hear the guy still getting more agitated and screaming. Then we started hearing shots. And then we heard, normally I was thinking law enforcement shooting. And then we saw SWAT vehicles, and we just heard errant shots.
When there is a public safety threat, you can count on 11alive.com and 11 Alive Plus to stream it for you, even if we're not on the air. We had covered all angles of the story. You can watch the full Atlanta Police Department's news conference on 11 Alive Plus. It is free to download on your streaming devices.